Hi there, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a very cool look at Solenopsis invictica, better known as the common fire ant here in the U.S. And specifically, we're going to be looking at how they are able to recognize fellow nestmates. So stick around to find out. So to start us off, nestmate recognition is the ability of fire ants to identify whether another ant belongs to their colony. It's a critical part of protecting their complex social system. Worker ants are able to patrol the nest entrance, encountering ants from other colonies, and assess their identity. When an unfamiliar ant tries to enter, the workers decide to either welcome it in or attack. This behavior prevents resource theft and ensures only colony members benefit from their shared labor. When an ant does detect an intruder trying to enter the nest, they are met pretty violently with behaviors such as biting, stinging, or being chased away. So, how are fire ants actually able to recognize their friends? The secret lies in the chemistry. Fire ants rely on cuticular hydrocarbons, or CHCs. Those are a waxy layer of chemicals that are all along their exoskeleton. These CHCs act as a biochemical ID card to identify each unique colony. Ants use their antennae to pick up these chemical cues. Olfactory receptors on the antenna detect and interpret the CHCs, sending signals to the ant's brain for processing. If the detected profile matches the colony's scent template, the intruder is accepted. Otherwise, it's met with hostility. This process relies almost exclusively on chemical sense. Although visual and tactile cues may play a minor supplementary role in some species, for fire ants, it's all about their smell. Antmate recognition is performed by worker ants, who are the backbone of the colony. Queens and males also carry the colony's CHCs, but are rarely involved in this defensive behavior. Workers, which are the sterile female ants, are the enforcers, ensuring the colony's protection. This behavior peaks in the adult workers, as juvenile or newly emerged ants are still learning their colony's chemical signature and are less likely to engage in aggressive defense. Nestmate recognition is one of the key cornerstones to cooperative behavior within ant nests. It helps the colony function as a single unit, maintaining efficiency and cohesion. By excluding non-nestmates, workers ensure that resources like food and shelter benefit only their group. So, let's dig into the science of nestmate recognition at 3 different levels: immediate mechanisms, development, and evolutionary history. To start off with the immediate mechanisms, the detection of CHCs depends on specialized olfactory neurons in the antennae. These neurons send signals to the antennal lobe of the brain, where the information is then processed. This triggers a behavioral response, either acceptance or aggression, often within just seconds. For their developmental processes, ants learn their colony's chemical profile during a critical period shortly after emerging as adults. If exposed to different colonies' CHCs during this time, they may adopt that profile as their recognition template. This demonstrates a mix of innate behavior and environmental influence. The evolutionary history of nestmate recognition is thought to have evolved from more basic chemical communication systems and ancestral insects. It's a trait shared by many social insects, including bees and wasps, highlighting its evolutionary importance in group living species. There is intense ongoing debate in the scientific community about the origins and mechanisms of colony-specific CHCs. Currently, there are 2 major hypotheses that stand out. The first hypothesis is genetic determination. This posits that CHCs are genetically encoded within the ants, meaning each colony's unique profile comes from its shared DNA. This would make colony identity a fixed trait within ants. The second hypothesis is environmental influence. Supporters of this idea posit that CHC profiles are shaped by environmental factors such as diet, nesting material, or local conditions. This would allow colonies to adapt their chemical signals to their surroundings. Current research strongly supports the environmental influence hypothesis. A 2015 study found that ants reared in the same environment, even from different colonies, showed similar CHC profiles. This indicates that environmental factors play a significant role in shaping these chemical cues. What I personally find amazing about this behavior is that often colonies of millions and millions of ants are able to coordinate and organize such massive nests through just these chemical signals. with the additional context that this behavior is somewhat learned through being raised with that colony signal only makes it more incredible. It's almost if these ants have a culture all their own.